Hi guys, welcome back to today's video. I'm Lexi, for those of you who don't know. I've had such a strong urge to be filming videos again, so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. This week, I'm going to just do a realistic what I read in a week video. I have a good amount of assignments and a good amount of volleyball, but for the most part, I think I can get a good amount of reading done. I have kept up for the most part with like how much I want to read. I kind of want to read a little bit more than I already am right now, but I haven't been doing terrible. I think, let me see how many books I've read this year so far. So for this year so far, I've read 6 books, which is really good for me because normally I read like six books like throughout the whole year. Normally in the summertime I do my most reading, so I'm very proud of myself for continuously like trying to keep up with reading, even though it may not be the biggest number. At least I'm still reading. I want 30 books for this year. It's not super high, but for me being super busy and like a college athlete, I think it's a reasonable one. So yeah, so I just finished Happy Place by Emily Henry. I will be filming like a 3 months into like the year reading wrap up soon. I wasn't in a slump after Emily Henry, but like I didn't know what I wanted because I like that book and how it was, but I didn't want to read another one of hers. I didn't want to read a romance. I didn't really want to read anything. I have most of my books back at home, and I didn't plan to be reading as much as I am right now. I went to Target today to create a little gift basket for my boyfriend because he's getting surgery, so I created one. I got him the Matthew McConaughey memoir. I definitely want to read it when he's finished with it, but it was like a buy 2 things get 1 free for the books. So I bought myself a little book today because I saw this floating around on Goodreads and it just drew me in. This is called Pictures of You by Emma Gray. Can we just take a moment for this cover? I think it's so beautiful. I don't read the synopsis of my books. I like to go in blind for the most part. So I know literally sporadic details on what this is. So I twinned with it today. Only read like literally the top lines or like the blurbs that somebody writes. What would you do if you could start over? Imagine having a second chance with the one you never forgot. Compelling, propulsive, I wasn't able to put it down. So the little snippets I know about this is I think she gets in an accident and she basically like can't remember anything. I think she only remembers like when she was like a teenager, and she still thinks she's like a teenager, and I think that's when she first met her like boyfriend or her husband or whoever she's with. And I think he tries to have her re-fall in love with him like kind of the same way, or like does it a different way, or maybe like wants to fix it a certain way. I don't know, but I guess we'll figure it out together. So anyways, I'm gonna start reading this probably later today. I have a few assignments I need to do first, and then I think I'm gonna get started on reading Pictures of You. Very excited. When I saw this, my jaw dropped, and I just think the cover is stunning. This is kind of an ugly angle. Can we take a moment because I was on Instagram like an hour ago. Destiny, pregnant and engaged. Congratulations to her, but that's like so cool, and I knew something was up with her. Anyways, time for a book update. So yesterday I was at the hospital for my boyfriend's surgery. I read 135 pages, which is a lot for me. Normally I do not read that much like during school year, but it was nice. Today I haven't read too much. I've only read about 20 pages today. I'm gonna shower and maybe blow out my hair and then possibly read some more. See you guys with what's going on, since I'm now like, how much percent of the way through? I'm now like 32% of the way through, so almost 50%. So far, I think that this book is really one of those books that is a good idea to go into blind. I'm gonna kind of keep my like synopsis of this and like what it is about kind of at like a minimum, just because I think it's a really good idea to go into this one blind. And I'm super happy that I actually picked this book up and saw it at Target, because I almost picked up a different book and then I turned my back around. I turned my back around and it was literally behind me. I said, oh, I have to get it. This one is about Edie. And basically, you kind of start off the chapter with like her kind of wanting to be sad because everybody around her sad, but she's not sad. And we're kind of piecing together like what it is, and it's like about her husband that passed away. and then you kind of get her waking up in the hospital. So that's kind of all I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you like basic tropes that are kind of going on, but like otherwise I really want you guys to go into this blind. And if you want more like detailed updates, like go to Goodreads or like go to other reading vlogs that have this, but like I think that you would have so much more fun reading this blind. Evie, like, I like Evie's character, and this book to me so far has been super addictive. Like at the hospital I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting tired, so let me put on some YouTube. I watched YouTube for like a minute and then I was like, nah, I want to read the book. So I picked it up again and I thoroughly enjoyed this book all day yesterday. I didn't want to put it down, and then I've kind of been just thinking about this story like on and off all day today even. But so far I like her character. I like how like strong-minded she is. Even though she's like going through some difficult things, I still think she's a very like powerful character and main character, and I do find her very like entertaining and just honestly like a very interesting character to get to know. And I think the story that she has underneath her is like super interesting, and I really can't wait to dive in, like figure out what it is. I have a few speculations, but I could be wrong. But there's like a main speculation I have, and I think I'm right. I want to say I'm right, but I don't know. Her best friend, Drew Kennedy, which is on the back. Kennedy, to me, I love his vibe. I love what he gives. And I cannot wait to find out, like, what their story was as well. Sorry I'm being so vague. I just, like, I don't want to spoil this for anybody because it's truly, like, a very interesting book. So I'm probably going to shower, maybe blow dry my hair, or, like, do my curl, like, natural curls to it. And see how it goes with my hair. And then see if I want to read anymore. But so far I read, like, 20 pages. Which is kind of more realistic for me to read day to day during school. So yeah, anyways. So I didn't do an update yesterday, but I didn't read anything. And then the day before I read 20-ish pages or so, like right after I stopped filming. I read like 20 pages and that was it. And then went like book shopping today. I've been really tired today. So that's kind of why it looks so beautiful. I started a different book. I kind of want to let myself like mood read, but I also left the book at home and in my boyfriend's room. So I went book shopping today, and I got Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. My update got interrupted by him earlier. I was filming and it came in there. So I made it to page 48, chapter 4, and right now it's really good. It's kind of flying by. I definitely like it, and I want to read a lot of it. It's about Yasmin and Josiah, and it's kind of like they're already divorced. They run a restaurant together. They have 2 kids together, and like I feel like something bad happened between them. That's why they like got a divorce or something. And so now I'm just waiting to figure out what's going on. But so far I like it. It's kind of like building up. You can tell like Yasmin's been going through stuff. Yasmin's been going through stuff, and she has a great, make some fucking noise. Yasmin's been going through a lot of stuff, and Josiah and her like some tension still and everything like that. And then her 2 friends are about the other books that are coming out, but so far you can tell their friendships are like super duper strong, and they each have a lot of things going on. So I'm excited to like read this because it's not just like a romance book that's like unrealistic. Like there's actual things going on. I might continue reading, or I might watch a movie. I don't know, but that's my update. So far I've read 48 pages. Okay, so I cannot remember when I last updated you guys, but it is now Monday, April 7th. And I think the last time I updated you guys was Saturday. So Saturday is the day I got the book, Before I Let Go. and I did a good bit of reading then. So I love the way she is writing. I love the audiobook for this book. I listened to it today when I did some homework, and I'm now at page 153 in the book. It is super good, and I do love the tension that's kind of forming between the two main characters, and I also love that there's some like resolutions happening around the other issues that they have going on, and I'm loving it, but also still on the edge of my seat because there is still like a main issue going on, and it's bothering me that it's not done yet. I mean, we just kind of got started with it, so I don't know when that's going to be fixed or ended or whatever you want to call it, but I hope pretty damn soon. I'm not going to say too much about this book, but I do love the two main characters, and I think they crack me up sometimes with the way that they think about one another, and like knowing that each other thinks that way but they will not express it kills me, but also I find it very funny. So far today, I don't know how much I've necessarily read, but I've read like 2 or 3 chapters of this book, and then Pictures of You I picked up and read 2 or 3 chapters today when I was walking on the treadmill. I usually do not read books at the same time, but for some reason, I got a bunch of new books recently, and I had to start this one as well. I'm devouring both of these, so I don't know which one I'm going to read right now. I might continue listening to this audiobook for like an hour before I have to go do something for volleyball. But yeah, the audiobook is really great. The characters have different voices and everything, so it makes it more interesting, and like I feel like you can picture the characters well. So I might just devour this with the audiobook for the remainder of the time. Isn't Pictures of You audiobook on Spotify, so I will continue reading this normally, which is totally fine because I have been enjoying this as well. So that is my little update we have so far. So I feel like I've read probably like 50-ish pages today or something like that. So good reading day. I did all my homework. I went to the gym. I have to do something for volleyball later, but that's later. Like I said, devouring both these books, and these are really great picks for the beginning of April. Love it. It's super late and I look crazy, but I just finished Pictures of You and I have to talk about it like right now. So I read, it's Wednesday today? Yeah, Wednesday today. I read almost 200 pages today on just Pictures of You. I knew I wanted to finish either one of these books, and I started this one first. I was like, I really want to finish it, and I was kind of like, I just kept thinking about this book. Like, I'm honestly thinking about both books, but this one I kind of went to a little bit more than Before I Let Go. This one, oh my god, let's just take a moment. Let's take a moment. If you have not read this book, you need to read this book. I think the message behind it, and this is just a good book. Like, I don't know how to say it. I told you guys I wanted you guys to kind of go in blind, and now that I've finished the book, I think that is 100% what you guys need to do. You need to go in this book so blind. But I will say look up the trigger warnings, especially if you're sensitive to certain topics. Otherwise, go into this blind. I think the character development was insane, and I don't know if this is a spoiler, but obviously she uses her memory. The way she is written, like the way she writes, how she is with the amnesia and without the amnesia, and then like the end of the story, I just, like, I could feel that she was back. If that makes it doesn't, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I could just feel that she felt better, and like I could feel her changing just through words, and it was like crazy. And I loved the, like, there was just like a side plot that I can't really talk about, but like it is like kind of a main thing, and I was correct in my guess as like what was going on. I guess picking this book up from the back, you wouldn't really like understand or like see it coming. So that's why I say like you need to go in this blind, because I was correct in like what I was thinking, but like also it still had me like on the edge of my feet, and the edge of my feet, edge of my bed, whatever the fuck, whatever. I'm really tired. The chapters were so short, and like I adored this book, and I will be thinking about this book for a very, very long time. And this is probably one of my favorite books I've read this year so far. I obviously just finished it, but I can tell I'm gonna be thinking about this because I was already thinking about it when I was like 30% of the way through the book. I literally read like 75% of this book today. Loved it, ate it up, devoured it, and it's so quick and fast-paced for being like a 400-page book. I really enjoyed this, and I think everyone should pick this up. This is not a typical like time for me. I had an exam, and then the rest of the week is pretty chill for me, so that is why I was able to read like 200 pages a day. Normally I'm never able to read this much. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. I might end the video like tomorrow, or I might wrap it up this weekend just because I want to finish before I let go in this video, since I did start it in this video. A little bit of unrealistic reading. Oh, hello. It's a little bit of an unrealistic, like, page amount that I read today, but I'm very happy I read this much. Like, I went into it so freaking blind that I was like, over everything. But I did guess the plot. I will continue to brag about that. Thank you very much. Anyways, great book. Highly recommend. Go into it blind. Do not look up any spoilers, because you will have a great ass time. So I just had to lift for volleyball, so I'm getting a head start on today. I'm pretty busy today. I don't know how much I will actually be able to do of reading wise, because I have a few things due tomorrow, and they're pretty important for the end of the semester. I had lift, and then I have another practice later. I have a therapy appointment. Sorry, the beeping's really annoying, but it's like a 10-minute drive from my dorm, so I'm not putting on my seatbelt. But I have lunch plans, therapy, all in the span of like the same 4 hours. So I pretty much can't read until later tonight. So I might today, while I'm like doing some homework, maybe listen to the audiobook of Before I Let Go. And other than that, it's a pretty chill day. I got 2 classes after I get ready from lift right now. And yeah. So I will see you guys later if I have anything to update. But Pictures of You has been on my brain still since last night, so.
On the front porch, broad and towering, the light carving. When I'm about to go on my first non-husband date in a decade and a half. Remark, you're early. Between Anthony and Vashti, everything is under control at Bristol.
That was the funniest thing I just read. It's not really a spoiler, because if you read the back, you read the back of the book. But it says, we'll be 8 years old, and my blank will probably still get hard when the woman shuffles into her room using her walker. Like, what the fuck? Her walker. What's so funny is I just got to chapter 20 and something like a little happened, like a little bit. It's so funny, like I go from her point of view of her being like, I can't want him, and then to his, and he's like, I can't want her. And it's crazy how both of them are like thinking the same thing. I just thought it was kind of funny. And I'm kind of dying because I'm finally getting some stuff after like almost 200 pages in. Just a little bit, barely any, but I see a little bit of some. But that's what I'm reading. I'm reading outside right now. I'm having a grand old time, and I just love that it's getting nice out finally. And yeah, so I already showered and got ready for the day, so it's really like fun. And then we have Maduna. Maduna is my boyfriend's cat, and we're just chilling. But I don't really know when I'm ending this video. I really haven't been keeping track of like my pages. But I did just want to finish this book in this video, so that's kind of what I'm doing. I haven't really read much yesterday or the day before. I've been on and off listening to the audiobook, but since Wednesday night, it's been kind of not really reading much. But today is Saturday, and then tomorrow I'm going to the U Miami and Chicago Fire game. So yeah. So we'll see how much reading I get done. Plus I have some stuff to do for school, but I don't have volleyball anymore, which is nice. So I get a little bit of break, but I also have to still go to the gym, obviously. So that gives me the opportunity to like listen to the audiobook, walk on the treadmill, read the book. So I'm hoping to keep up with reading because I only have 2 more weeks of classes, and then I have finals. I only have 2 finals, and then I'm done. So very excited, and I cannot wait for this summer's like reading. And I hope this is the best summer reading year and year in general for books I've ever had. And I think a great way to start is by keeping up the consistency that I have been with reading. And then I love to like talk about the books and record. I don't really have much people in my life that read a lot. That's why I love to like record. Not only do I just like to record in general, but like recording and talking about a book. So fun and so honestly satisfying. I don't know what it is, but it just is. And I've been super like, what motivates me the most is like seeing other people read. So I've been definitely keeping up with booktubers. I love and enjoy their videos, so it's been really nice. And I have seen this book like float around a lot, so I'm super excited that I'm like reading books that I want to read, and like I'm stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit. Like this year I really like stepped up, like not being scared of a book to pick up and just picking up a book I want to read. And I don't care about the page number, I don't care about the genre, like just if I want to read it, I want to read it. And it's definitely helped me. And I did enjoy reading like 2 of these books at once. And not that I think it's a good idea to like read a bunch of books at once, because I do think that's like a great way to get into a reading slump, but I think it's a good way to like kind of, if I like, sometimes books can get a little boring up until like you reach like what's going on. So like I think sometimes, or if I'm just reading a book that's boring, it's sometimes fun to like, my eyebrows look fucked up. They were so good this morning. I don't think I'm gonna read every single book at the same time as one another, but I think it was really interesting to go back and forth between the two, because it like kept me interested if I ever got bored, if there's like a boring chapters or like boring sections of the book. Not that these books are boring in any way, but like this one is a build-up. It's a slower build-up, it's a slow burn. And Pictures of You was also kind of like figuring out things, having them self-discover themselves, so it does like become a little slower, if you can say that. So that's what I mean by like reading 2 books at once. But I think my next book, I'm going home this following weekend for Easter, and then I'm going to Target, so I might look at a few books and get myself maybe a couple extras. I have so many books in my physical TBR, I don't need any more, but I'm looking for a thriller, and I don't have any thrillers with me currently. I've also been putting off the last book of the Shadowbreed series because I have not wanted that like series to end, but there's a new one coming out, so I kind of have to. So that's me right now. That's what I'm reading. I've been listening to the audiobook of this one a lot, and if I have any more updates besides like them finally getting somewhere with tension, I will let you guys know. So I finished Before I Let Go yesterday night. Throughout the whole book, I thoroughly like enjoyed the development of the characters and the things that they were doing to make themselves better, as well as finding it super interesting about how their family dynamic works, obviously being exes and having kids, owning a restaurant together, being kind of interconnected all of the time. And I just thought that was really interesting in how they worked at it, and how they kind of like were always trying to make sure each other were like good and the kids were good and everything was like super what it needs to be. I just thought their connection was undeniably there. But I do have a little bit of something that made me not love this book towards the end of the book. So I think the message behind all of like the mental health aspects, everything like that, look up trigger warnings by the way, is super important. I think having a book, being realistic about it, super good for everybody to read and become educated on it, or just like have someone to relate to if you have gone through something like that. But I think when they finally got back together, it was probably like around this much, or maybe a little bit more, and it just wasn't like the love connection that I thought they were talking about. Don't get me wrong, they like couldn't get away from each other, and they always like were thinking about each other and wanted to be with each other, but they were wanting to be with each other, in my opinion, in a lustful way rather than like actual love and like what that goes to. I mean there were aspects and like it did wrap up really nice, but in my opinion it was very lustful towards the end. I didn't enjoy that part, so it did make my rating go down. It was originally probably gonna be like a 4-star book for me, but I decided to give it a 3 stars because I feel like their connection was something that was so built up. For it just kind of at the end be very lustful was like disappointing to me. I don't know. But I think that all the struggles that they went through, all the things they overcame, and all the things they did for themselves were very, very important. And I loved that story, and I loved the kids. I loved everybody kind of outside of this, the characters. I really enjoyed it, and I do love the main characters. I just wish the ending wasn't so lustful.
I heard you talking. I was like, "Is on the phone again?"
No.
You talking? I can leave you alone.
Hey.
Oh my god, hello YouTube. That's my dream to be YouTube famous.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Madush, you want to say hi to camera? She said, Madush. Hi.
In your bed. Time to go in your bed, Jody. In your mama bed, Jody. Oh, in your bed. Get in your bed. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. YouTube video.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Don't shut the door. Why are you laughing at me?
No, it's cute. I like it. It's very cute how you like to do your own stuff. You can talk. I don't give a fuck.
No, you're in here.
You shy?
I'm still shy around you, yeah. Show them your new shoes.
I'll show them my new shoes.
You got these new shoes today. I got new ones too. I don't think YouTube has met you before.
What happened?
YouTube hasn't met you.
That's crazy. Yeah, she has a boyfriend, guys. All the guys trying to slide in their comments. She's taken.
What the fuck?
Sorry, boys.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. Love you.
Love you. So that was it for this video today. It kind of went over like a week long and I kind of lost track of all the pages I read every week. But it was just like a realistic like reading vlog, and towards the end of it I was just kind of like, I want to finish this book, and I think I read like 100 something yesterday. Doesn't really matter, but it's like a realistic reading week, which was actually a really good reading week. I read 2 books in 1 week, which was really good for me during school year, which is almost coming to an end, so I'm super excited. But I am about to start filming another YouTube video for this coming week, so I will let y'all go. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'm going to try to be more consistent on YouTube, and I cannot wait to read more books this year. So thank you guys. If you have any video suggestions, leave them down below. And without further ado, I'll see you guys later.